Hey, what's up everybody, it's me Jordan, and I'm back with another inking video. This time I'm going to be comparing the Deleter dip pen, which comes with the Saji pen, the G pen, and the Maru pen. They're just the attachable nibs, they clip into the top of the Deleter pen, so you can go from there. I'm going to be comparing that with the Copic drawing pen, which is what I use for all my inking at the moment, and I'm a big fan of this pen. I think it's been discontinued, but there's a different version of the Copic drawing pen, so I'm assuming it's pretty similar. This version of the Copic drawing pen comes with refills. The Deleter pen, I have got some Deleter ink, which I'm not actually going to be using for this video. I'm using this Parker ink instead because it's darker. The Deleter ink that I've got is a number 4, and I believe there's 6 different ones, so it kind of comes out more of a grey than a black, which I'm not a massive fan of, so make sure you get the dark one if that's what you're after. To compare these pens, I am going to be inking this simple manga face, half with the Deleter pen and half with my Copic drawing pen. So I'm going to start out with the Deleter pen and do the left hand side inking with that. The paper that I'm using for this is Deleter paper, and I've got to say a big thank you to Aichi Craft who sent me out all of this stuff actually, although I think I bought the Copic drawing pen, but they've sent me a free one in the past as well. So they basically wanted me to review the dip pen and just give an honest review and opinion of it, and I am going to be honest about it because I've got mixed opinions, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But if you're looking at buying Copics and some other art supplies, I definitely recommend Aichi Craft. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased or anything. That's actually where I buy all my Copics, and that's kind of why they got in contact with me, because I just spoke with them over Facebook, and they've just been really good with service, and the prices of their stuff is really good. But let's move on and talk about the pen. I'm using the G nib for this drawing. The Maru nib does some really nice fine details, and the Saji nib no one cares about.
What about me? It isn't fair.
I do have to mention that this is pretty much the first inking that I've done with this dip pen, so it's not completely a fair comparison because I'm still getting the hang of it. It definitely feels a lot trickier to use than a regular inking pen. If you're more of a beginner artist and just starting out, I probably wouldn't recommend this pen to you until you get the hang of inking and you get a bit more confident, because I feel like if you're using a dip pen, you've got to be a lot more confident in your strokes that you do, and that's what's going to get you the best results, because if you kind of chicken scratch too much, you're going to tear up the paper. That happened a little bit to me just because that's kind of what I'm used to doing with my Copic drawing pen, and that's fine. So you've got to keep that in mind. The pen does feel really good to hold actually, and that's something which I noticed when I went back to my Copic drawing pen. I was like, damn, the Deleter pen just feels really comfortable. The shape of it, it's got a nice curve, and the weight of it, it's just a really comfortable pen to hold, and I can imagine spending more time with it and actually getting good with it. With a dip pen, you've really got a distinctive style, I think. You can see why a lot of manga artists use it, because it's really got that nice flowing style. But for me personally, I don't know if it's enough to take me away from my Copic drawing pen. I really enjoy that pen. I like the convenience of not having to dip it all the time. That got a little bit annoying with the dip pen. Some people might like the kind of drama of that and the whole feel of dipping your ink and all that kind of thing, and I can understand that. It's kind of got a cool feel to it, but it's a little bit annoying, let's be honest. The Copic drawing pen just feels like a really nice balance between a dip pen and a multiliner, so it's really hard for me to recommend a dip pen over this pen. I understand some people will like that though, and the dip pen definitely does feel good. The Copic drawing pen can be pretty temperamental sometimes. It doesn't flow the best all the time, and you can control that a lot better with a dip pen, because there's no issue of it clogging up or not working, it's just you dip it. So there's definitely some positives in that regard. And I definitely feel like I've still got a lot to learn about using the dip pen, so I'm not completely fair on it. It would take a lot more practice to be able to fully utilize it and use it effectively, to use it to its full potential, so the line work actually looks really good, because my line work here was pretty scratchy and honestly not very good. So to summarize, I think both pens are good. I like the Copic drawing pen more. If you're starting out, I would recommend a Copic multiliner or maybe a micron pen, whatever you like, they're all pretty similar. And then when you get used to that, maybe go up to the Copic drawing pen. Both are good. I wouldn't recommend a dip pen if you're starting out inking. I think dip pens take a lot of practice to get competent with, and they're pretty difficult to start out with, so I definitely wouldn't recommend that if you're new to inking. If you want to try it out though, I think it is a good pen and it will reward you if you practice with it. I've seen some really great artists using dip pens, and as soon as you know what you're doing, you get some really beautiful results. So if you're willing to put in the time, I think you'll be happy with it in the end. And I think the Deleter dip pen is a pretty good place to start. It comes with the 3 different nibs, so you can kind of practice with that and figure out if dip pens are your type of thing, and then maybe you can upgrade to something more expensive after that if you're really into it. I hope this video has been a helpful comparison of the 2 pens. If you're looking for more videos with tips on inking, I've got a whole playlist of inking videos where I give some tips and just ramble on about art and random things as well, so you can check them out. I just decided to add a little bit of shading to this drawing just to finish it off. It's obviously pretty rough, I didn't want to spend too much time on this. The purpose of this was just to compare the 2 inking pens, not really have an amazing artwork at the end, so I'm sorry if it's not up to my standard of my other drawings. But if you want to keep up to date with my drawings, follow me on Instagram. I post heaps of stuff there so you can see progress photos, good quality photos, and all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments if you prefer dip pens or regular inking pens. I'm kind of interested to see what the spread is. I think most people will prefer regular inking pens, but I could be wrong. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated and it really helps me out. And like always, I will catch you guys next week in next week's drawing video. So the main message I'm trying to send here is to just have fun with it, donate to charity, be a nice person, help the homeless. Yeah, well, okay, you get what I'm saying. Just have fun with your artwork.